on the first part of gastrointestinal tract. First slide is section and thick skin from palm or sole. The skin is composed of two layers. An epithelial layer of ectodermal origin called the dermis, and connective tissue layer of mesodermal origin called the dermis of the skin. This is epidermal and this is dermal layer of the skin. The junction between epidermis and dermis is irregular. We can see projections from dermis called dermal papillae. Interdigitates with epidermal invaginations called epidermal ridge. This is dermal papillae and this is epidermal ridge. The epidermis consists of 5 layers in thick skin. First layer is called the basal layer or stratum basale. Single layer of cuboidal or columnar cells. These cells are also called stem cells. These cells have the ability of divide by mitosis and responsible for renewal of the other cell types. Stratum basale or the basal layer. Second layer called the spinous layer or stratum spinosum. This layer is normally the thickest layer, especially in the epidermal ridge. The cell layers are held together by desmosomes. The cells extend on the desmosomes and giving the layer the appearance of a spine or prickles. So this layer is called the spinous layer or stratum spinosum. The cells of this layer are polygonal in shape. Each cell has centrally placed nucleus. The third layer, called the stratum granulosa, consists from 3 to 5 layers of flattened cells. The cytoplasm of these cells have basophilic keratohyaline granules at higher magnification. We can see the cells of this layer have basophilic keratohyaline granules. واضحة طلاب؟ 3 to 5 layers of flattened cells with basophilic keratohyaline granules. The fourth layer is called stratum lucidum. This layer is only found in thick skin. A translucent layer of eosinophilic flattened cells. Nuclei and organelles are lost in this layer. Stratum lucidum, a translucent eosinophilic layer of flattened non-nucleated cells. The fifth layer, called stratum corneum, stratum corneum consists of 15 to 20 layers of flattened non-nucleated keratinocytes. The cytoplasm of these cells are filled with keratin filaments. هذه تلاحظوها هذه vacuoles. ما عندكم أنوية. الخلايا the cells are non-nucleated. These are vacuoles. Non-nucleated flattened cells. تمام؟ Any question about the cells of the epidermis or the layers of epidermis? أيها؟ stratum basale, together with cells from stratum spinosa, both cell layers called stratum germinativum. تمام؟ الخلية الباقية. فقط تكون الخلايا keratinocytes اللي يصير بها shedding from the fifth layer. راح أعيد لكم اللايرز على السريع حتى نشرح الديرمال لاير. stratum basale, stratum spinosa, stratum corneum, stratum lucida, stratum cornea. The dermal layer consists of two sublayers. Papillary layer. This is thin papillary layer, consists of loose connective tissue with type 1 and 3 collagen fibers. The cells are fibroblasts, macrophage, mast, and other leukocytes. Papillary layer. The deep reticular layer consists of dense irregular connective tissue with type 1 collagen fibers, in addition to a network of elastic fibers. Papillary layer, reticular layer. Papillary layer is a thin layer of loose connective tissue, while reticular layer or thick reticular layer consists of dense irregular connective tissue. Beneath the dermis of the skin, we can see the hypodermis, also called subcutaneous layer, consists of adipocytes. This is a sweaty gland. Sweaty gland has two portions, secretory portion and duct portion. Any question about thick skin? This slide is section in thin skin from Caucasian individuals. This slide is section in thin skin. We can see reducing in the number of cell layers with absence of stratum lucida. This is the epidermal layer, and this is the dermal layer. Stratum basale, spinosa, granulosa, cornea. This is the papillary layer, and this is the deep reticular layer. Within thin skin, we can see hair follicles and sebaceous gland. This is a cross section in hair follicle, and this is sebaceous gland. Third slide. Section in skin negro. يعني معناتها الأشخاص ذو البشرة الغامقة. In this slide, we can see the cells that are responsible for the skin color. Which type of cell? Melanocytes. This is the epidermal layer and this is the dermal layer. Melanocytes are rounded cells found between and among the cells of stratum basale. Each cell contains melanin pigment. This pigment appears brown or dark in color. واضحة؟ هذا السلايد فقط مطلوب به melanocytes. تمام؟ Melanocytes found between and among the cells of stratum basale. This is about the skin. The first part of the GIT is called the oral cavity. First slide is section in the lip. This is section in the lip. Each lip has 3 different surfaces. This is the outer surface of the lip. We can see thin skin with epidermal and dermal layers, in addition to the hair follicle and associated sebaceous gland. This is the outer surface of the lip. It is composed of thin skin, epidermal, dermal layer, hair follicle with sebaceous gland. The inner surface of the lip consists of oral mucosa. It consists of stratified squamous non-keratinized. Beneath is laminar propria of loose connective tissue with minor salivary glands called labial glands. This is the inner surface of the lip, consisting of mucosa with labial glands. This region is called red border, also called vermilion border. It consists of a slightly keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. This region lacks salivary and sweaty glands. The underlying connective tissue is rich in sensory innervation and capillaries, which give the pink color to the lip. This region is transitional between oral mucosa and thin skin. The core of each lip is occupied by striated muscle called orbicularis oris muscle. This is the core of the lip, orbicularis oris muscle. على هذا الجانب oral mucosa، هذا الجانب thin skin. واضح هذا السلايد؟ يحتاج أعيد الطلاب؟ تمام؟ 3 parts: outer surface, inner surface, and the vermilion border or red border. The second part of the oral cavity is the tongue. The tongue is a mass of striated muscle. The smooth, striated muscle fibers are oriented in all directions. Between them, we can see connective tissue. Muscle fibers or fascicle of muscle fibers are oriented in all directions. The tongue is covered by mucosa. The inner or ventral surface is smooth, while the dorsal surface is irregular. This is the dorsal surface. Dorsal surface is irregular with hundreds of projections called lingual papillae. There are 4 types of lingual papillae with different forms and functions. First type is called filiform papillae. At the tip of the pointer, we can see the filiform papillae. Filiform papillae has an elongated conical shape and heavily keratinized. This type of papillae lacks taste buds. Filiform papillae, elongated conical shape and heavily keratinized. This is stratified squamous epithelium, heavily keratinized. Beneath the epithelium is lamina propria of connective tissue. Filiform papillae. Second type called fungiform papillae. It has mushroom shape. We can see dilated upper part. This type of papillae is lightly keratinized, stratified squamous epithelium and lamina propria. Mushroom shaped. This type is much less numerous than filiform papillae. Question about this slide? This is slide section and tongue of the cat. Core of striated muscle. 2 types of papillae, fungiform and filiform. Third type is called foliate papillae. This type consists of parallel ridges that لاحظوها parallel ridges. راح نخليكم اياها على low power في high low power. parallel ridges تكون بروزات تتكون من عدة بروزات parallel ridges. Epithelium is stratified squamous non-keratinized beneath lamina propria of loose connective tissue with salivary glands. Foliate papillae are rudimentary in human, especially older individuals. The fourth type is called valate or circumvallate papillae. This type is the largest papillae. There are from 8 to 12 circumvallate papillae. It is covered by stratified squamous non-keratinized. This is lamina propria of loose connective tissue. This gland is a serous secreting gland called von Ebner gland. At the tip of the pointer, we can see the duct of von Ebner gland, which empty into the deep groove surrounding each papilla. On the lateral surface of the valate papilla, we can see taste buds. Each bud has ovoid shape. These are taste buds. They are found on the lateral surface of the valate papilla. Each taste bud has ovoid shape and consists of 3 types of cells. Basal cells, these cells are also divided and giving rise to other cell types. Resting on the basal lamina, basal cells. At the tip of the pointer, we can see the taste cell or sensory cell, also called gustatory cell. This cell is bipolar neuron. The apical end of this cell has microvilli extending toward an opening called the taste pore. This is taste pore. هسه على كيفكم. At the tip of the pointer, we can see the supporting cell. Supporting cell is a cylinder cell with elongated nucleus. شلون تفرقون بيناتهم؟ من تكون النواة elongated وداركلي إذا هي supporting cell. من تكون تقريبا rounded وتحتوي على يعني granules, this is the nucleus of sensory or taste cell. تمام؟ At the tip of the pointer, we can see the nucleus of sensory or taste cell. This is supporting cell. واضح؟ Supporting sensory cell and basal cells. Any question? ضروري تميزون السيركمفاليات تكون هي فقط just one papilla in the section. تمام؟ تختلف عن الفوليات بابيلي. الفوليات لاحظتوها تكون بشكل بررة، يعني بروزات يعني موازية أحدهما للآخر. تمام؟ All slides of this lab are stained by hematoxylin anti-eosin. مساء جدا طلاب.